Can you imagine what it would feel like to have your book written in the next 30 days? That may sound extreme, but take a moment and just consider how your life would be totally different once you're holding your book baby in your hand. What doors would that open up for you? Speaking engagements, features, an opportunity to be on blogs and podcasts and grow your following and expand your brand. It would literally change your life in ways that you can't even begin to fathom. This is exactly what I teach in my book writing bootcamp. In the book writing bootcamp, it's geared as a 30-day program that teaches you the steps to write, publish, and prosper off of your book. So basically, we take that big audacious goal that you have, that big amazing idea that you have for a book, and break it into bite-sized chunks so that you're able to give it to your audience and really change lives all over the world. And we do this through a couple of different things. So the first thing that we do is we first identify who your ideal audience is. The biggest mistake you can make is to believe that you're writing a book for everyone, when in fact, if you write a book for everyone, you actually write it for no one. Take, for example, the spork. I loved the spork when I was in elementary school, but let's be real. As an adult, if you go to a 5-star restaurant, you can't use a spork. You either got to use a spoon or you got to use a fork. Same thing with book writing. You can't take that book idea and expect that it's a one-size-fits-all. So we take your ideal book idea and identify who that ideal reader is going to be. Then we understand, what are your readers' triggers? What are their pain points? What are their needs? And why would they be looking towards your book? We then take that and determine how to weave in the content from what your reader needs as well as what you desire to give to your audience as well. Then we move into the writing phase. And the cool thing is, the writing doesn't need to be complex. It doesn't need to be challenging. It doesn't need to be overwhelming. It doesn't need to be something you feel like throwing the towel in. We can actually make writing, dare I say, fun. We use the 3-act structure, which helps you to take a big goal of yours and break it into bite-sized or more manageable parts. So the way the 3-act structure works is you have the setup, then you have the confrontation, and then you have the resolution. Simply put, you take your premise, your big book idea, and you identify the objective. When people are reading your book and they're walking away from that book, what is the one thing that you want them to take away, right? If they don't remember anything else, what is that one thing? Then you help to break that into those 3 different acts. So the first thing is really setting up the tone for the rest of the book. The confrontation, that's where the juice and the bulk of the material in the story comes. That's where the turn and the shift is. And then you move it into the resolution, where you just wrap it up and let your audience know what the next step is. So let's try it out. Let's say, for example, you're writing a book on how you recovered your finances after a foreclosure. So for you, you understand that people have a certain premise or idea or understanding about finances and budgets and all the like. So you decide that you're going to really set the tone, let them know who you are, a little bit about your backstory, that sort of thing. Then the middle section, the confrontation, is where everything hit the fan, everything shifted, everything changed. And that's when you started to really get the learnings, the new information. And then the resolution is really wrapping it up, letting your audience know how this relates and applies to them and how they can take this material and actually make it fit into their current circumstances. That was a very simple and quick overview, but all in all, you can literally take this structure and apply it to any book that you want to write. And the neat thing is it takes what felt like an overwhelming process and actually makes it more exciting. It makes it more fun, more doable, and you feel more inspired to actually get the writing done. I had a client of mine who had been working on her book for 4 years, literally thinking of the idea, and she would start and stop and start and stop. And she had tried all these different programs. She worked with many different coaches. She tried things on her own. She Googled and did all the things, did all the research, but it seemed like nothing was shifting. And it wasn't until she joined the book writing bootcamp that she was able to really connect the dots. She was able to really take that big puzzle and find the missing pieces so that she could bring her story full circle. And the best part is she did it in 30 days. And she is now using her book as a stepping stone to get into speaking, which has been amazing to witness. The best part is she came in as a busy woman with so many different, hats that she was wearing and her attention being pulled in a million different ways, and was still able to show up for her goals and her future. And here's the cool thing. That's not something that's just unique to my client. That's something you can experience yourself as well. So if you're ready to dive in, what are you waiting for? Let's talk about it. I know that you probably have a few questions, and I'll discuss some of my most pressing questions that I get. First thing is, Do you receive lifetime access to the material? Of course you do. Not only do you receive lifetime access to the material, it's constantly updated. As I am a writer and I write often, I'm constantly taking information that I'm learning and bringing it into the course. You also receive an online accountability group and support with other people that are in the trenches with you, and you have access to me inside the course as well. And then if you're wondering how you can fit this in a busy schedule, trust me when I say I understand busy was my middle name at some point in my life. So I made this course with people like you in mind, understanding that you have other obligations and other things that you have to give your time and attention to. So the great thing about this course is that we're just asking you to commit 1 hour a day. And here's the thing, that may sound extreme, but if we're being honest, there are times when we're just scrolling social media, seeing, with no focus in mind, or we're watching Netflix, or just being distracted by a lot of other things. But what would happen if you committed to your goal for 1 hour a day for 30 days? Your life would change in ways you can't even imagine. In addition to that, I'm teaching you tons of hacks to be able to write really quick, especially on a busy schedule. And I'm teaching you hacks to overcome writer's block. It is absolutely amazing to see people, even with a busy schedule, to still be able to make the writing happen and in turn publish their book and get it into the hands of the people that need it most. So if you have been watching, waiting, looking, and listening, and you're ready to birth your book baby, I am so excited to connect arms with you and just help you bring your vision to life. So use the link below so that you can come on over and join us, and I can't wait to see you there.